Did you know that the sheer force of a Siberian tiger's paw can smash a bear's skull with a single swipe? Now, imagine being just a few feet away from such raw power. This isn't a story about the wild plains of Siberia or the dense forests of Russia, but right in the heart of Zurich. And on a quiet afternoon, one of these magnificent yet deadly creatures turned its ferocity on someone who never saw it coming. It was a peaceful Saturday afternoon at Zurich Zoo, a place that offers families a chance to marvel at the beauty of wildlife in a controlled, seemingly safe environment. Kids were laughing, couples strolling, all unaware that in a matter of minutes, the zoo would transform into the site of a terrifying tragedy. Just after 1 p.m., what began as a routine feeding inside the tiger enclosure became a nightmare that staff, visitors, and those unfortunate enough to witness it up close will never forget. Siberian tigers are the crown jewels of any zoo exhibit, majestic, awe-inspiring, and seemingly serene when viewed from behind thick glass walls or from a distance. But on this fateful day, one such tiger, named Irina, reminded everyone why they are also one of nature's deadliest predators. Despite the best efforts of the staff and an internal alarm system that triggered immediately, a seasoned 55-year-old zookeeper would not survive the encounter. Irina, a creature revered for her beauty and feared for her power, had fatally attacked the very person tasked with caring for her. And the question that continues to haunt investigators is, why was the zookeeper in the enclosure with the tiger in the first place? As expected, the scene was chaotic. It began with screams, a sound so sharp that the busy zoo activity was instantly muted. Previously focused on photographing exotic creatures, visitors were abruptly frozen, attempting to make sense of what was happening. The zookeeper had been in the enclosure, which under normal conditions ought never to have happened. But there she was, face to face with Irina, the Siberian tiger whose instincts in that instant overcame all concept of imprisonment. Born in Denmark in 2015 and sent to Zurich Zoo only the year before, Irina had always been considered as a prize addition to the zoo's collection of species. Celebrated for their strength, grace, and unvarnished beauty, Siberian tigers are the largest of the tiger species. They seem at first to be like docile giant cats that only require food and care. But the illusion finishes here. A Siberian tiger can carry prey twice their own body weight, leap up to 19 feet in one go, and jump as high as 16 feet vertically. Their muscular legs alone are so strong that a tiger can keep upright long after death. Their muscles hardened by the same force that makes them such effective hunters. When they assault, they overwhelm, dominate, and surgically precisely destroy their prey rather than merely kill. Their teeth are strong enough to shatter a deer's windpipe, hence in this sad event that power was turned against a human. Staff workers hurried to the enclosure as the guests gazed helplessly on. For those seeing the tragedy, time dragged agonizingly slowly while alarms screamed all around the zoo. Managing to move the tiger into a holding pen, zookeepers hurried to try to get Irina away from the scene. It was too late, even with their gallant efforts. The zookeeper had fallen dead. Arriving in minutes, first responders tried to revive her, but their efforts came up short. Presented dead at the scene, she left more questions than answers. Why had she gone into the cage? Existed a breakdown in safety procedures or a misinterpretation? Renowned for strict safety policies, Zurich Zoo was struck with shock, unable to understand how such a catastrophe could have happened under careful staff and guest supervision in broad daylight. The immediate aftermath was just as horrific. The zoo closed the next day, and the personnel and guests who had seen the attack could get counseling, unharmed, and return to her enclosure. Irina, the tiger at the center of it all, served as a continual reminder of the careful balance zoos must maintain when keeping such lethal species. Though rare, these kinds of attacks do occur, and when they do, they leave not only for the zoo, but also for everyone who saw it, a great scar. The horror of this event exposes an unpleasant reality. Wild animals are essentially wild, regardless of the level of training or experience a zookeeper has, or the state of maintenance a zoo receives. Like Irina, Siberian tigers have a natural territory spanning great distances of the Russian tiger. They are solitary hunters in the wild, used to survival. Their typical prey consists in big animals like deer, wild boar, and occasionally even bears. Top of the food chain, they are apex predators. Furthermore, although they usually target other animals, when they hunt people, the outcomes are usually lethal. Many survivors of tiger attacks over the past century report remembering seeing the tiger's eyes minutes before the attack. The dilatation of the tiger's pupils to the extent of filling the entire eye socket is a clear indication of approaching peril. Usually by then, it is too late. Regarding the Zurich Zookeeper, it is also unknown if she had time to recognize the warning signals, or if the attack was so quick that any kind of preparation or training could have protected her. Although Switzerland is not usually connected with dangerous wildlife, animal incidents are not rare in this country. Actually, there had been other animal attacks at Zurich Zoo. Less than a year ago, a crocodile bit a keeper cleaning its cage. The crocodile had to be shot to release the keeper's hand from the very terrible bite. The staff member lived, but the zoo suffered because concerns about safety procedures surfaced. Surprising diversity of species may also be found in the Swiss countryside, which is well known for its serene settings and lovely towns. Although none as hazardous as Siberian tigers prowling the highlands, other animals, predatory birds, venomous snakes, and big mammals, do create hazards. But unlike those wild animals, the tragedy at Zurich Zoo included a creature behind bars, a warning that danger may strike even in the safest environments. A melancholy atmosphere envelops the zoo, as researchers put together what went wrong. While the public wonders how such a tragedy could have occurred, the zookeeper's colleagues are left struggling with the death of a valued team member. Later on, Severin Dressen, the zoo director, would stress that Irina had behaved as any tiger would have. The animal's behavior revealed merely instinct. There was no malice in it. Dressen said, trying to make sense of the catastrophe, "This is a young animal that so far has behaved entirely naturally as a tiger does." Irina was just 5 years old, still in her prime, full of the raw energy and hunting ability that define Siberian tigers in the wild. The zoo was closed in the next days, while authorities started an extensive inquiry into the incident. Together, Zurich Municipal Police and the Office of the Public Prosecutor sought to identify the precise series of events that had led this catastrophe to unfold. Was there a mistake in procedure, a fleeting distraction? Alternatively, had safety procedures suffered a more severe breakdown? The end of the inquiry revealed a terrible clarity, despite the rigorous review. It had been a self-inflicted accident. By a little but fatal blunder, the zookeeper had entered the enclosure without properly locking the gates. Working with wild animals in a high-stakes situation means that even the tiniest error could be disastrous. Closing the matter knowing that the zookeeper's fatal blunder had been inadvertent, the prosecutor's office ruled out foul play or any mechanical flaw in the zoo's infrastructure. Ultimately, the episode at Zurich Zoo was a sad meeting of human mistake with animal instinct. A little lapse had cost the zookeeper everything. For Irina, it was only a normal response, a manifestation of her predatory nature developed over millennia. The zoo community, and more broadly, the public, were left struggling with the stark fact that, in the realm of wild animals, even the smallest error can have disastrous results. Moral of the story: when we consider this sad tragedy, it serves as a sobering reminder of the fine equilibrium between us and the wild animals under our care and admiration. To get informed on our most recent stories and learn more about the wild and sometimes perilous world of animals, kindly like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. The complex dance between human civilization and most powerful predators in nature has much more to reveal.